So I've got a few odds and ends of vegetables here. Courgette, a bit of sweet turnip, a bit of celery, and a bit of cauliflower, okay? So I'm just going to show you what I would do now with these odds and ends of vegetables. So first I'll start with the sweet turnip. I cut that up quite thin because that'll take the longest to cook. And sometimes it just can take quite a while, especially if it's old. That's actually quite a fresh one. Then I'm just going to slice up the celery right to the end. I don't obviously use that butt end of it, but I go right down. And you see the way a bit of dirt gets in between the pieces of celery. I'm just going to rinse that under the sink in a sieve. So I'm going to run the water through the celery and wash with my hands just like this in a sieve. So I've just cut the florets off the cauliflower, and actually I use a lot of the stalk as well. Down at the very bottom, see down here, it's very fibrous and hard to eat, but I'd you know, within a centimetre of the bottom, I'd chop that up as well and cook it. There's the stalk of the cauliflower all chopped up. That's the bottom part. I'm just going to chuck that out, and the florets I'll leave whole like that. So when I'm cooking it now, I've also got a little bit of courgette here as well. I slice up the last of it. Courgette cooks really quickly, like in boiling water, in about literally 5-10 minutes. The cauliflower doesn't need to be really well cooked. That'll cook in about 5-10 minutes as well. So I'd cook I'd put the cauliflower and the courgette in at the same time. Maybe the cauliflower just before, but this is what here, the turnip, the sweet turnip, and the leeks or the celery will take a little bit longer, so I'll start them a little bit sooner, you know. So I put them on for 5 minutes, add this after 5 minutes, and then lastly add that after a minute or two. So this will be on for 7 minutes by the time I add in the courgettes. So I'll show you how I do that now. To cooking well is using good utensils. This is a saucepan. Look, it's old. I'm missing the handle and everything, but they were prestige saucepans that I got, and they're quite good. They've got a good enough heavy base. You want a saucepan with a heavy base, otherwise everything burns in them. Like I've picked up saucepans at car boot sales, and you don't have to spend a fortune. And just, you know, when you pick them up, you want to make sure that they're stainless steel and that they've got that they feel really heavy and solid. You know, if they feel really light, anything you cook in them is going to burn. It's going to drive you nuts. So a good heavy saucepan is a really good investment, and I have not spent a fortune on mine, and mine are ancient. Actually, look at this one, it's falling apart. So I've just put the turnip and the celery into the saucepan, just covered it with boiling water. You don't have to even have boiling water. Sometimes I don't boil the water first, and cook it for 5 minutes, or cook it till it's nearly tender, and then add in the cauliflower and the courgette. So my turnips are just soft, just about soft now. So I'm going to add in the other veg. Chuck it all in. And ideally you'd have just enough water, because the more water you add, the more flavour will go into the water. Okay, so you don't want masses of water, but you don't want too little, so that it doesn't cook. And I always use the water from the cooking of vegetables to put back into my dishes afterwards, as I show you. So I'm going to add in a little bit more water. Just, it's not even covered, you know, it's down a bit, and I'm going to cook that now. So that took just over 5 minutes to get this far. I'd probably cook it for another 5 to 7 minutes. So these are cooked now. Took 7 minutes. I can easily put my knife into the cauliflower. Courgettes take no time to cook. You know, they're soft as well. So the easiest way to strain them is in a colander over a bowl. See, all the juice is going down there now, and I'm just going to let them drip there for a little while. And that juice now is perfect for using to make when I reheat everything, like my chickpeas, or if I add in my chicken or my chickpeas or whatever protein I add in, or my meat, to the vegetables, I add in a little bit of that juice, and that just there's, you know, it's full of flavour and stuff like that. So I won't throw that juice out.